Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're doing fine. I'm also okay. I'm actually recording on the go, so I apologize in advance in case the quality is not up to par. Today, I want us to talk about Raila Odinga's influence. There are people who are arguing that having vied 5 times, Raila Odinga is a spent cartridge. There are others who maintain that Raila Odinga is still as influential as he was in 2007 or 2013 or even 2022. In this video, I look at what the fact is. Is Raila Odinga a spent cartridge, or is this still a very influential politician whose endorsement carries a lot of weight? If that is something you're interested in, I am asking you to stay tuned, keep watching, and if you're watching this channel for the first time, just take a moment, subscribe to the channel, so that whenever we produce videos of this nature, you will be notified. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga has been in Kenya's politics for over 40 years now, and he has been very influential. People like me who have never supported Raila Odinga's presidential candidature can attest that it is very difficult to separate Raila Odinga, especially with the Luo voter. I remember vividly in 2013, after the election, there is a group of Luos who met. I won't call names here, but they met and said they had given up on politics because from the look of things, Raila was not in a position to win any election. They were reacting to the fact that Raila Odinga had lost the election to ICC indictees, people who had been indicted at the ICC, people who were in the government with him and were his juniors. So these Luos were really disillusioned, and they were like, moving forward, we are not going to support Raila. We want to focus on business. These same people, around 2014, within less than a year, that is around 2014, these same individuals were all over praising Raila and saying that moving forward, that Raila was going to win the 2017 election by a landslide. The same people who in 2013 had just said they are no longer interested in politics, and even if Raila was to vie, they will not support him. In 2014, they were all over saying they will endorse Raila, and that time they were now sure Raila Odinga would win. Now, another instance, in 2017, after the election, after the polls, the same thing happened. There are people who were like, I will never vote for Raila Odinga. This is one guy who has wasted us as a community, etc. In fact, in 2018, April, I still remember, it was on Raila Odinga did an Easter message on his Facebook page. You can still go and find it. April 2018. That is the most commented post on Raila Odinga's page, I believe. It has thousands of comments, I think over 20,000 comments. Most of those comments were from Luos who really insulted Raila Odinga for having handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. They really said Raila Odinga had wasted them as a community, was unreliable and untrustworthy, somebody they could never trust again. And most of them said they had given up on politics and given up on Raila completely. Interestingly, by 2019, the same individuals were singing Baba the Fifth. They were already saying Raila Odinga was going to win the 2022 election by a landslide. The same people who had already given up on, who were claiming they had already given up on Raila. The point I'm trying to give you here is, when it comes to Raila and Luo politics, majority of Luo Nyanza people will still follow the Odingas, even if they are doing that begrudgingly. They will still do it. Hata kama wanaifanya shingo pande, they will still do it. And since he has that control over Luos, like I told you, influence how majority of Luos vote and Kisses and some parts of the coast. So if he still has the Luos under him, Raila Odinga is still influential. Those who believe that is not influential are arguing that people consider him too old. But let me give you a real life example. In 2023, Raila Odinga told the people of Luo Nyanza to welcome William Ruto. And they welcomed William Ruto. The likes of Orengo were seen making Ruto a Luo elder. A few months later, Raila Odinga said that he was no longer recognizing Ruto as president, that he had new evidence that showed that he had won. That is after Ruto had refused the handshake, which Orengo asked for publicly in those earlier meetings. My friend, the same people who had welcomed Ruto as a king, when Ruto went back, the president went back to Nyanza, nobody gave a damn. No MP, no leader even dared attended this meeting. It tells you that when it comes to influence, the Odingas, and especially Raila Odinga, has serious influence among Luos, politically speaking. And so, I just want to tell you that Raila Odinga is not a spent cartridge. The ugly truth, and since this is raw politics, the ugly truth is Raila Odinga has influence in Luo Nyanza. And because he has influence in Luo Nyanza, and Luos influence most Luhyas and Kisses and part of the coast, Raila Odinga still has influence in Luhyaland, he has influence in Kisii, and he has serious influence at the coast. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the ugly truth. And those who are trying to dismiss Raila as not influential are not being genuine, because even Rigathi Gachagua knows that Raila Odinga is influential. That is why he's asking him to join them, because he knows that without Raila Odinga in their camp, there is no way they can get their desire of making Ruto a one-term president. Two, Kalonzo Musyoka understands that Raila Odinga is still very influential. And that is why he is also asking and begging Raila Odinga to endorse him, because he knows that even with Gashagua's endorsement, it won't be enough to win against William Ruto should Raila choose to endorse him. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let nobody lie to you that Raila Odinga is a spent cartridge. Politically speaking, is still very influential. As to which side he will support, he is likely to side with Ruto. But this is also politics. You never know. Raila Odinga might decide to vie or endorse Kalonzo Musyoka. Whatever he does, I've already talked about Raila's options in detail in a video that I've linked below. But what you need to know is that he is very influential, and all these other things that people are saying about him being spent force, that majority of Luos will ignore him should he say they go this way. Do yourself a favor and don't believe such things. Because if you believe that Luos are going to rebel with Raila Odinga, let's say Raila decides to support Ruto, and your belief is that should Raila decide to support Ruto, majority of Luos are going to rebel with him. No, it won't happen. Majority of Luos will support whichever direction Raila tells them. Now, that does not mean that every Luo supports Raila. People like me and others, we have always stood on our own. And so there are still Luos there who are going to say, we will vote the way we want. But majority, and most of the time when you're doing political analysis, you have to work with what is the majority going to do there. You don't pick on the minority. It is what majority of Raila supporters are going to do. And majority of Raila supporters are going to go and are going to follow the direction he's going to give them. That is why the 2020 the 2027 election will be decided by Raila Odinga. I repeat, the 2027 election will be decided by Raila Odinga, because whichever side he will support will win. And should he decide to vie, it will take people to a runoff. And in that runoff, whichever side Raila Odinga will support will win. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to tell you that Raila is still influential. Let nobody lie to you that people are going to rebel against him. Let me know what your opinion about Raila is. Feel free to share your views in the comment section. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like and share with friends. Otherwise, if you want to know what Raila's political options moving forward are, watch this video.